Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, currently we're pushing up a little bit. That's pretty much in line with the expectations here that we are going to get a higher C wave still. However, we're far away from any sort of confirmation or anything. What I mentioned to you in one of the last videos was here the ascending wedge. And I told you that these most likely break to the downside, which it did, yeah, in a possible 1-2 pattern. I did already label that for you. So that's sort of pretty much going according to what we wanted to see. We had, since the low here, 5 waves to the upside, but not an impulse. So this could be a leading diagonal, but it became something more like, yeah, you could argue it was more like a channel in the end, or it was a descending wedge with a fake out, an ascending wedge with a fake out. But again, these most likely break to the downside, which it did in this case, found support, basically what you would expect from a wave 2, around the 50% Fibonacci retracement, and then reacted here to the upside. As a result of breaking out of the wedge, it formed an inverse head and shoulders, just a small one, and that resulted in a breakout. And I mean, that happened after my last video, but if we look at roundabout the target here, probably have to go to the low here, target for the inverse head and shoulders after the breakout, yes, pretty much spot on where we now are. However, to now get more confidence that this is indeed the breakout in this larger degree wave 3, we need to see the third wave, first of all, the small third wave here in white, which is part of the larger third wave. We need that to reach a certain level, and we need that to reach the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. So it would need to get to the 16,723 level. Yeah, we're measuring to the high of the wave 1 to the low of the wave 2, and we're looking at the 1.618 Fib extension. As long as we're not there, I can't really count that as a third wave, because this is important for the trustworthiness and reliability of a chart. I already have problems with it, because what this is, it's not really impulsive. I mean, there is a chance, yeah, I could count this as a 1-2, 1-2. In that case, we would probably push higher. So be ready for that. I'm not labeling this entire chart because this is really micro counting, but this would be a 1-2 setup here anyway, off the third wave. Then the only choice I have really is to count this as a 1-2 as well, and another 1-2. And this is where it's getting unrealistic that it's going to work out, because 3 1-2 setups is basically the maximum they should have. It means this gets supercharged and will push much higher, because all of these 1-2 setups, yeah, imagine that. You've got 1-2 here, it needs a wave 3, 4, and 5. But if you have another 1-2 and another 1-2, these also need their wave 3s, their wave 4s, and their wave 5. So it will move higher and higher. As long as it holds, where there is no guarantee. So if you get too many of them, it's getting unrealistic. So I think if we get one more 1-2 setup, it's gonna be very unrealistic. So either it just, you know, whatever this is, there's no way around. It needs to hold now the last wave 2 low, or this first one at least, to enable us to push higher. And this is at 16,500. I'm just thinking, is there another possibility, but nothing that's reliable. I mean, if this doesn't hold now, it doesn't go to that 16,723 level at least now, and ideally higher, because of these 1-2 setups on the lower time frame, then this is probably also not yet the C wave, yeah, unless it's turning into a larger sort of mess. But you can see very clearly we are still in this range, basically. We have not broken out substantially above this breakout point that I did mention to you in previous videos at 16,652. This is the wave B high from the 30th of December. I might need to rework this entire count if this doesn't break out now. Again, as I said to you, these are not really reliable. Setups at the moment, because we are in a channel. We still have very choppy price movement, and this to me doesn't yet look very impulsive. Problem is these overlaps, but we have a chance, we have a chance now, and the overall assumption still is to push higher in this C wave, because as long as we're not breaking below the low at 16,330, the idea is to go higher. Yeah. The question is just how long does it take? You know, are we already there, or do we need to have a bit more patience? Will it break down and move a little bit further in this sideways range here? So again, this is the next level that I mentioned to you, and eventually we should reach the target for the yellow wave 3, and this is at 16,960. But then we only have 3 waves. We then need a 4th and a 5th, and that could be the 5th wave that will finish off the C wave. So that's sort of what we need to see, yeah, because this entire pattern would just look much better with 3 clear waves, A, B, C. So and that's basically in accordance to what I told you in last videos. Should we lose for whatever reason, it can always happen. We have no substantial breakout. You can actually see how we are sort of rolling over, yeah, if we don't finally push it to the upside. But that's part of the game. That's part of an A, B, C structure anyway, that you come down quite a lot. But we haven't broken the low from the 19th of December yet. So for me, there's still a good chance to push higher here, but it's not a high reliability setup. I have to say that as well. This could all still be the B wave. Yeah, it could all still be the B wave, but yeah, there is certainly a chance now. This is certainly, since we've come down here, yeah, the first substantial higher low that we've made, but we haven't really made a higher high, and that is what we need to say, okay, also the short-term trend has now shifted back at least into a short-term uptrend. But for anybody who's new, don't get me wrong, I'm still waiting for lower lows for Bitcoin. So the idea is either to go here in an ABC pattern, yeah, and putting in a wave 2, and then to go down, or maybe even go up a little more into the 19 to 20k area and then to go down. This is all, both are possible scenarios, as long as we're holding this 16,330 level. There's basically 2 key scenarios I'm watching. Either we get into the region around 17.1 to 17.5k, or to 19k. We'll see how we react to these pivot points up there. And only if we break below 16,330, we are gonna go down directly. But in all of these scenarios, after the short-term upside, I would still be looking at Bitcoin to reach the around about the 14k area. So we're still waiting at the moment for another low. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership, and also make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And if you're interested, check out our trading course that you find on morecryptoonline.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.